Hello everyone, my name is Arun and welcome to my channel. This series is of tutorials on C programming, and in this tutorial we'll be looking at some of the procedures to compile our code manually and build an executable manually. So far, for all our programs we use the compilation building features available in the code blocks editor to do that. Okay, but if you're working with a very complex program for which you have to link more libraries than what is required, or if you're working on a project wherein you write your files in multiple, write your contents, write your functions and things in multiple files, and you want to join them together, then in that case code blocks will not work. We need to go for manual compilation, and that's what we're going to do over here. In manual compilation, you compile the code individually and create object files, and you join the object files to create an executable. And this entire step procedure is actually repeated step is mentioned over here. In step 1, you compile the individual files. Okay, during the compilation, if there are any errors, the compiler will just point you out and you correct it. Okay, like a missing semicolon or a variable mismatch, type mismatch error, or some syntax faulty syntax, not using any variable or something like that. If you have any error or warning, it will point you out, you correct that. And once there aren't any errors, what you do is you take the compiler will take this human readable code, and from that, after through a lot of procedures, it will convert that into an assembly language, and that assembly language language instruction will be converted into machine level instructions. Okay, and those instructions will be stored in the object file. Okay, so keep in mind that a lot of things happen under the hood, and for now you just keep in mind that when you compile a code, after fixing all the errors, when you compile it, the human readable code will be converted finally into a machine level instructions through a series of processes, and those instructions are stored in this object file which have an extension .o, or sometimes you might also come across a shared object file with the extension .so. Okay, and if you're working in other environments or other programming languages, then and if it's based on a compiler, then the shared object file, okay, will be different and would have different extensions, and they might be named differently, so that doesn't matter here. Second thing is you take all the object files and then you produce an executable from it. How? It's like you have to join all the object files that you produced in the above step, and then put the appropriate library links that the files might need to refer to, and create an executable. And then in the third step you run the executable. So this is the explanation, 3 steps in the explanation. And if you want to do this as a code, if you want to compile this in the terminal, okay, this is how you do. And for this you need a terminal. Okay, so this is the general step. You type the compiler name, you type -c, and -c is a flag or a compiler option telling that, okay, I'm going to compile this file to meaning I'm going to create object files from this particular file. That's what we're telling over here. Okay, and then you do this for all the files, and then you complete step 1. In step 2, you type gcc and then put -o, and then you type the executable name, and write the set of object files that you would like to combine together. Pass the appropriate flags that these objects might require. Object files or the executable has to be made through, and then put all the library links that these files might require. Okay, to create an executable, and then you run the executable with this command over here. Okay, let's look at that. For example, I have taken this area of a triangle program which we written earlier, and to do all this stuff we need a terminal. Either open a terminal and go to the path where this file is kept, or you can also enable this terminal option available in the Genie. And if you're following Genie, go and install Genie plugins available that are available, and if you do that, you have the terminal option ready. Okay, then this will work. And now what you do is just go to the path where the file is, and you can right click and get the path from the file. And then if you click ls, these are the files that are available. So I'm just going to remove this executable file, the star.o file. You remove all this, and this is the file you have, a triangle.c. You have triangle.c and triangle.sh. We'll talk about this sh in some time. Now if I type to compile this, I type gcc -c, and then I type triangle.c, and then I press enter. it should take a second and looks like nothing happened, but if I click ls, you will notice that this file triangle.o got created. Now I have to take this object file and make an executable out of it. To do that, I just type gcc minus o, and then type give an executable name. Give an executable name like try, just try, that will do. You can give any name you want, that doesn't matter. And then you type the object files triangle.o, and then give any flags that you might require. And here and I don't need any flags, so I can leave it as it is, and then put any links if there are necessary. Okay, and the links for this one is just the mathematics library, because if you look at it, in this file I'm including the mathematics library, so I need to put the link for the mathematics library. The flag for that is -l and m. If I put -l, it means it's a linkable library, and if I put m, it means I'm linking the mathematics library. And if I press enter, looks like nothing happened, but if I click ls, you have this executable try available. And to run this, you put // and try. Okay, this dot indicates that we are in this particular folder, and this /try indicates that we are going to run this file try available in this folder. And if your file is somewhere else, okay, you just have to type the path of the file, put a / and then file name over here, and then run it. Now if I run this, it will ask me for 3 size. I'll type 3, 4, 5, and if I look at it, it says that the perimeter is 12 units, a semi-perimeter 6 units, and the area 6 units. Sweet. Okay, now if I go and modify this code, let's say instead of peri, I write perimeter, so I have to go and write perimeter here, and here also I have to write perimeter here. Okay, and then I have to write perimeter here. I save this. Okay, now if I make any changes to the C file, I have to redo this procedure. I have to recompile this code, rebuild the executable, and run the executable. So just to give an idea, I clear this up, and now I just have to remove any object files. I don't have to remove, I can just do this again. So gcc -c, and then triangle.c, run this, and automatically I get an object file. Now I type gcc -o, type the executable name triangle.o, and then I link the mathematics library and press enter, and now I try.exe, it'll work. So 3, 4, 5, there we go, it works. Now every time I make changes to this code, I have to recompile the code, create an object file, and execute it again. I have to repeat this again and again and again, and that can be a bit frustrating and annoying. Luckily, instead of typing all this code again and again, okay, we can write all of this instruction, these compilation steps in a small shell file like this. So what I did then here is I created a shell file called triangle.sh, and I returned the commands. Here in this line, I am removing any object files or executable files with extension .exe, and with any files which have a tilde in it, meaning a temporary file. And then I type the compilation command, and then I write my building command, and then I write the executable command. The 3 commands which I wrote over here, I'm just putting them over here, and there you go. And if I run this is more than sufficient. To run this file, I'll tell you the hard way first. What you need to do is just type chmod +x, and then type triangle. Only for the first time you do this, and that will do. This will give executable permissions to this file, okay, so that it can be run by other programs if you want. Okay, and once you have the executable permissions available, it will become green in color. At least in my terminal, it's green in color. In your terminal, it might be a different color, but just note that. Once you have the executable permissions available, you can type bash and then the file name triangle.sh and press enter. It will work. So 4, 5, there you go. It works properly. Now it will just delete all the executable files, object files, and temporary files, recompile the code, reproduces executable, and then it reruns the executable. Okay, and that's how we do it. I put the general procedure in this shell file over here, and I also put this general procedure in the comments on the top of the top of this file. Okay, you can use these you can use these to as a reference to run in the future. And in the future tutorials I will be giving more and more examples, and you'll understand much better as to how all of these are done. All right, now that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you all for watching, and in the next video I'll talk about if clauses. Okay, till then, take care.